3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of We Talk. I'm Yolanda Nell and I will be your host for today. On Wednesdays we dine, so stay tuned for today's interview as we are headed to the village garden. But first up, we have the news. In today's news segment, we will be taking a look at the looming fuel strike that is planned for next week. That would be followed by the EU agreement signed with Namibia for the next 7 years. Service station operators across the country threaten to close shop for 7 days if government does not address the price the industry is forced to sell petrol for, which they claim is negatively affecting their profits. The Fuel and Franchise Association of Namibia, FAFA, on Monday met with the Mines and Energy Ministry to discuss the loss the industry is trading at due to increasing fuel prices and the levies in between that is leading to a reduction in the business's profits. Representatives of FAFA apparently informed the industry that the strike will start next week if government, who is the fuel price regulator, does not attend to their concerns. Attempts to get hold of the chairperson of FAFA, Henny Creer, were unsuccessful, but the retailers to whom Irango 24/7 spoke to said that the exercise is aimed to force government to realize how important the sector is and that it needs intervention in order to stay afloat. One operator said that government tells them how much they can sell their fuel for and therefore they need to address it. So every time when the fuel prices increase, then the profit margin decreases and they are trading at a loss. There have been several audio messages circulating on social media warning the public to fill up their vehicles because of the possible strike. Some of the messengers are claiming that while petrol is being delivered to Walfish Bay at about $8 per litre, the pump price shows about 22 a litre, and only about 5% of that is the profit permissible to traders. One retailer asked where does all the other costs come from and go to, while another said they are being strangled by government's regulation and that is why they are now fighting back. The Namibian consumer's price for fuel is based, amongst others, the basic fuel price, that is the price the fuel is landed for in Namibia through Walfish Bay, a Southern African Customs Union levy, fuel tax, a road users levy, and a fuel levy. When approached for comment, Petroleum Commissioner Maggie Shino said there is no need for panic. According to her, the ministry and FAFA had a meeting and agreed on a position going forward. She explained that the issue is that because there has been no dealer margin increases, the retail businesses has been experiencing economic difficulties, hence FAFA requested for an increase. NMH understands that FAFA represents a majority of the industry. Other sources within the industry said not all members of FAFA are in agreement with the planned action, and it is doubted whether such action would bear fruit. One source said that they cannot afford to close shop, especially considering that they are along a major corridor that sees a lot of traffic, including trucks, to and from the north. Namcor spokesperson Utara Uveka said that the company does not wish to comment and also indicated that Namcor would also not participate in such action. The multi-annual indicative program presents priority areas of partnership between Namibia and the European Union for the next 7 years. According to the National Planning Commission Executive Director Valencia Uras, the program is aligned to Namibia's 5th National Development Plan, the Harambee Prosperity Plan, as well as Vision 2030. She appreciated the support, especially in lieu of the fact that it will strengthen the collective and shared vision of an educated, capable, and prosperous Namibian nation. The European Union ambassador to Namibia, Sinika Antila, said that through this programming of cooperation, the EU and member states commit another 7 years to further support Namibia in human development and education, giving children and youth a chance for a better future. The program also supports good governance and strengthens inclusive green growth, creating new opportunities to Namibian individuals and businesses. The priority areas of Namibia's cooperation with the EU includes foundational skills. This includes support to the Early Childhood Development Program to improve the quality and accessibility of ECDs, improve equitable and inclusive access as well as quality in ECD and pre-primary education. The second priority area will focus on inclusive green growth, and this priority will focus on renewable energy, water, and sanitation, as well as climate change adaptation and mitigation, as well as biodiversity conservation. In order to further support Namibia's initiatives towards a green economy, the EU is currently also strengthening its partnership on critical raw materials and green hydrogen with Namibia. The third priority area focuses on good governance and gender equality. This priority area will provide institutional capacity building for enhanced governance performance and improved enabling environment for civil society and better service delivery. Support will be provided to enhance the Anti-Corruption Commission's capacity and to accelerate the implementation of the National Anti-Corruption Strategy, to strengthen Parliament and to address gender-based violence. For the inception period of the cooperation program covering 2021 to 2024, the EU will provide financial support of more than 627 million Namibian dollars for the outlined priorities. The indicative financial allocation for the period thereafter until 2027 will be announced following the mid-term review of the implementation of the MIP, which will include a dialogue with the authorities and other stakeholders. Today we are at the Village Garden in Lillian Street. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank
Such
you.
a pleasure.
Thank you for being here. Yeah.
So this was always known as Lemon Tree and now you have taken over and it is now Village Garden. Tell us about the change.
Okay.
So I've been managing the complex here known as the Village for about 3 years now. And during that time we had Lemon Tree here and we could never quite get onto the same page in terms of our vision for what we had for the property, because this space where we are now, that was previously Lemon Tree and now the Village Garden, is really the heart of the whole property. It sort of gives the essence and the soul of what it is that we are trying to create here. And so when Lemon Tree moved out and we were looking into what do we do here now? How do we captivate this moment to make it what it is that we want it to be? And I had known Alzon and we had seen each other around, Windhoek being Windhoek and knowing each other everywhere. So I approached her and told her of this idea that we had, because although we have the vision, we're not foodies. We don't have the talent necessary to make this thing happen. And so Alzon and I had a coffee, and I think 20 minutes into this coffee, I knew immediately that this is going to work. This is what we want. And so she's really, brought this whole thing to life with her creative, foodie, artistic skill and our vision and what we know about this property. And I think this joint effort has, really blossomed into something special.
How did it feel knowing that you had a coffee and 20 minutes later you kind of were already on the same page and you knew exactly what you were going to create?
Yeah, I think like for me, my gut feeling immediately told me like yes. Yeah, I've been in business with a few people, and then sometimes your initial action is like, yeah, this is good, and then it doesn't work out. But I think with Dina and them from the get-go, I even said like, this is my type of people. We speak the same language, we're interested in the same things. Yeah, so it's very exciting that we did decide to venture together, and what has came from it. Yeah.
And it did help as well that in my previous interactions with Ozan, she had sort of expressed some interest in being here at the village in a much smaller scale, actually, at a previous location that used to be planted. So very small cafe, bistro sort of vibes. And so when I approached her with this scale thing, I couldn't tell if she was super excited or very intimidated, but maybe a bit of both.
Yes.
Can you
Yeah.
quickly tell us what is available on your menu?
So our whole concept is almost covering like a wholesome aspect when it comes to our foods. So we use real butter and we use like good, fresh, locally sourced ingredients. I think that and the knowledge of our chefs, everything coming together just gives us a win recipe. So you can find things like our homemade iced tea that we make from rooibos espresso and locally sourced honey and lemon. Or another like really nice meal is like a raw Asian salad where it's basically just lots of raw veggies soaked in soy sauce and sesame seed oil. I think our idea with most of our food is to make you feel good after you've ate it. So not too heavy, starchy foods, more stuff that like you feel refreshed after you ate it, yes.
What is the atmosphere you're trying to create here?
So we in general try to create quite a social, community-oriented atmosphere. It comes in a lot of what we do with our decor as well. We have a very natural environment, and we sort of try to complement what we already have existing here with the trees on the property and the fish ponds and the water and things like this, and feed that onto the inside to make people feel extremely comfortable in their settings and their surroundings. And to complement this, we also now start to not only host but organize a number of events that are really focused on a lot of cultural, artistic, social aspects. Whether it be like, for example, tonight we have a Ukrainian film festival happening in order to bring more information and knowledge to the Namibian public around what's happening there at the moment, to last night having a poetry and philosophy night where they discuss the topic of whether the universe is conscious or not. So it can be quite explorative in what we try to bring in the dynamic between people here. It's still very much a work in progress, but we hope people feel that this is a place where they can feel at home and a place where they can meet other people with similar passions and like-mindedness and interests, and even if they're not similar, to still get along as human beings, basically.
Can we book the space for a baby shower or thank you, or an event of some sort?
Yes, so we do have different pockets of space that you can rent out for, let's say, a baby shower or a birthday or something. So we have our opera house, which can seat up to 100 people. Then we also book out our stage, which is right here behind us, a really lovely space, perfect for smaller, intimate groups, let's say up to 20 maximum, yes. And then now in the winter times, the inside of our restaurant, you can also book out for birthday parties. So only in the evenings though,
Yeah.
yes.
And then we also have a number of boardrooms available as well for more corporate-oriented events. We have variety, a 16-seater boardroom, a 10-seater Zoom room, which we call it, which has video conferencing facilities built into it, and then also a 6-seater code cave, which actually has computers set up already and is sort of catered and oriented towards technology-oriented trainings and workshops and these sort of things. Everything from coding to just basic computer literacy.
It seems like this is quite the place to be during the day and during the week, because you offer everything on one premises.
Yeah, we like to be an all-encompassing package, and it does also help that we're situated in a complex with lots of offices already, so there's already a very organic sort of flow of people around here. which does already give it quite a busy, hustling sort of atmosphere. So yeah, we try to cater for a bit of everything.
Thank you very much for your time.
Such a
Thank you very
pleasure.
much.
Thank you.
For today's recommendation, we are looking at the second part of the solid waste management project the City of Windhoek, together with the City of Bremen, is embarking on.
Second pillar looks at also some of the upcoming recyclers or upcyclers, we call them, that are now already there in the industry trying to make something of waste products per se. I'm not sure where you came out. You should have seen, or when you came in, there is a table and a chair that's standing in our foyer. Those are some of the initiatives that are there. They are made from tires. The chair itself and the table. So these are waste products here. But now they've been what we refer to as upcycle. There's been value added to it here. So we are looking at the center that will be setting up the waste biobank centers to also act as an incubation center for startup businesses with ideas such as that I was referring to basically incubate them, give them a bit of support in terms of space to work in, renting space and a bit of stipends that they will be receiving to encourage them, to take this straight forward and make something of a business out of this. Yeah. And the third one, obviously, waste you can't do without awareness and education. So that is a strong pillar that you can't ignore. You need to educate your public, your residents, your schools, and so on about proper waste management and what it is and all that. So the project also is a component of that, where we are doing our awareness raising and education. Yeah. So we'll be looking at schools specifically. We are targeting our schools here to revive a program that we had already previously in the past, where we had initiatives like recycling competitions among schools, just to raise awareness and development of curriculum material maybe that can be used at schools in terms of waste management topics that can be discussed basically. So that's the school part, but also you need to educate your general public here. So we are looking at reviving issues like our cleanup campaigns that we used to have in the past. So as part of this initiative, we are looking at, getting the community involved again with cleanup campaigns, and awareness raising and all that. Yes, the project is happening in phases. Now we are in our implementation phase. We have this funding. Some monies have been made available, and we need to start moving and implement these ideas that we are talking about here. So for that purpose, we are looking at, there's a benchmark study to go to Durban and Pretoria, South African states, where similar initiatives are already on the go. So they have experience and learnings there that we want to tap into and see what are their learnings, what are their experiences, what are their successes, and also what are some of the challenges that they are facing, which we can then look at and fine tune into our case also. So that benchmark visit will be happening within the next couple of weeks. The team will be going out to there to do that for us and then come present to the project team as to what they've learned, for us to fine tune our waste buybacks around the waste buybacks and its functionality. How does buyback work? Who are possibly some of the target participants that they've got in there. So that is one thing that will be happening. On the part of providing a center, obviously infrastructure development needs to take place, and you know that is a process that takes place. You need to acquire land, you need to have your layouts and engineering designs done, set up structures, buy plant and equipment that needs to be used for this place here to be made here. So as engineering service for the division, we are also busy with that now. We have submitted our items for land acquisition to identified lands to council. It's been through MC now, so it will be moving to council for the final endorsement and approval here.
For today's life hack, I know it's winter, but I eat ice cream in the winter, and if you want to really treat yourself, take some peanut butter, melt it in the microwave and pour it over. Next up, Jeanette Diergaard for your Flex Minute, which will be needed after eating peanut butter ice cream.
Bookings for Namibia Tourism Expo 2022 are open. The expo will take place from 3 to 5 November 2022 in Windhoek. To secure your booking, visit nte.nmh.com.na, and for more information on the expo, follow all Namibia Media Holdings platforms. The expo is supported by the Ministry of Environment, Tourism and Forestry, Namibia Tourism Board, FENATA, City of Windhoek, and Namibia Media Holdings. Namibia Tourism Expo, taking tourism to the region.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Flex Minutes. I'm Jeanette Diergaard, and now today, if you want to get rid of those, if you want a thigh gap and you want to get rid of those fat between your inner thighs, then don't worry, I got your back. So what we're going to do is that we're going to do some inner thigh workouts. Now, if you didn't know, sumo squats, it's a perfect way to work on your thigh muscles. So that's why it's great to just point out your toes and to go down, and you can work those inner thigh muscles and get it all worked. And obviously you're also working on those glutes, so well done to you. And then what we can also do is some clamshells. Now I know that sounds a bit fishy and oceany, but what you can do here is, what you want to do, lift up that leg, lift up your hip on the side and do some clamshells. So there you're working on your abductors, you're working on your inner thighs, and you're also getting an oblique stretch, an oblique workout out of that. But guys, that brings me to the end of today's Flex Minute. I hope I will see you all next time again.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That's all from my side for today. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Do join us again tomorrow, same place, same time, for a brand new interview and a recommendation.
Tonight I'll lie awake and watch as the world ends, all from the comfort of my bedroom. I've said it way too many times, there are some perks being friends of mine. Tonight I'll lie in bed drinking red wine, singing a doo 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 doo. and mark those who attend. Most of my friends are in the bathroom. I've said it way too many times. Not only sinners dwell the night. Tonight I'll lie in bed till you flat lying, singing. Let's raise a glass to tenderness and all of the other things I miss. Throw our hearts into the hellfire. I'd raise the bonds of bitterness.